Hello and welcome. I hope that you are doing well. Thank you so much for joining me here today to talk about books. And I had planned on recording this yesterday while I was at home. However, it was kind of windy, and when I went out to finally record, it was kind of drizzly, so I wasn't able to record outside. So we are going to talk about the book inside today. Hopefully soon we'll get outside. And today's book is The Glass Girl by Kathleen Glasgow. This month I'm focusing on books that I've been trying to read for a while, whether that while is a couple months or a couple of years or more. I've mentioned before that since reading the Agatha series written by Kathleen Glasgow and Liz Lawson, that I wanted to read some of their individual writing. And in April, I was able to read the Liz Lawson book, Murder Between Friends, and now I've got The Glass Girl by Kathleen Glasgow. Bella is experiencing a lot of stress, partly because everybody wants something from her. Her mom wants her to help around the house. Her dad wants her to not make waves. Bella actually takes care of her younger sister Ricci when she is with both of her parents. Her ex wants her not to be so much, but he also wants to continue being friends with her after he broke up with her. And another source of stress for Bella is the recent death of her grandmother, a woman who accepted her completely as she is. But she was also the first person to give Bella alcohol, help her relax. Bella's mother is grieving for her mother, and she sends Bella to the grandmother's old house to help care for it because she doesn't feel up to going there. Bella has so much stress in her life that she just can't cope. And because she remembers the drinks that her grandmother served her as something that helps her relax, she turns to alcohol. But Bella's life and her drinking is about to get out of control. And one night it becomes apparent, especially to her mother and somewhat to her father, that Bella needs help. She awakens in the hospital with a fractured cheekbone and no recollection of how it happened. Bella needs to go into rehab, where she will meet others striving for sobriety, and she must confront her past to move on to a new future. The Glass Girl by Kathleen Glasgow is realistic. You will care about Bella and her sister especially. You'll be frustrated and angry with others in the story who act like they want to help her but are anything but helpful. And you'll also be frustrated with some of the choices that Bella herself makes. I think one thing this book does really well is show that recovery from addiction isn't something you do and are finished with. It's a journey that you recommit to every day, and although you may sometimes fall, you recommit to recovery all over again. In the author's note, we learn about the author's own struggles with addiction and her journey with recovery. I'm going to mention two other books. One is YA contemporary fiction, and one is a memoir. The whole time I was reading The Glass Girl, I kept thinking about the memoir by Matthew Perry, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. And in this book, which I listened to on audio, you learn the story of Matthew Perry's life and his struggles with addiction. You learn about his experiences in the film industry. Matthew, as you know, endeared himself to viewers as Chandler on Friends. What this book did for me was help me understand what people with addiction go through and how sometimes the healthcare system, while trying to help, can hinder patients' health journeys. You'd Be Home by Now, also by Kathleen Glasgow, and it is YA contemporary fiction. Emery has always been told who she is. She is the rich one, great-granddaughter of the founder of her town's mill. She is Maddie's younger sister. Her sister Maddie is Hot Maddie. Her brother Joey is Stoner Joey. And Emery is the good one. Until everything is turned upside down when she and Joey are in an accident where a friend is killed. And the accident also reveals how bad Joey's addiction is. Her experiences reveal to Emery that people are more than they appear to be. And those who have told her all her life who she is just may be wrong. And it's time for her to define herself. And now I'm going to select my next book for June. And just to remind you, my books this month are books that I've meant to read for a while. Whether that while, as I said, is a couple of months or a couple of years or more. And I'm going to change direction a little. My first two books were very heavy. So I'm going to look for something a little lighter. So let me go take a look. All right, I have found one, and it is Betting on You by Lynn Painter. Bailey is taking a flight to her new home in Omaha, where she's moving after her parents' divorce. She meets Charlie, and his cynicism doesn't mesh well on her emotionally fraught trip. A year later, she's beginning a new job where she sees a familiar face. Charlie is one of her coworkers. They remain opposites, but Bailey begins to have fun working with him. So I'll be back in about a week when we will talk about Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I hope that you will join me then, and until then, I hope that you enjoy all that you do and all that you read. In The Glass Girl, at the end of the book, the author shared this list of resources where you can seek help if you are struggling with something. So I am just going to show you this list and encourage you to get help if you need to.